Hello, my name is Sergio Fernandez. I'm gonna put a video together that shows you how to uh, find prime numbers, how to determine if a number is prime. Um, I haven't finished this tutorial, but I'm gonna put the equation. If you test the equation out, it'll be right every time. I've tested it. The logic is solid. I just want to put it up quickly because I already put the equation up on Facebook and other places, and I just didn't want somebody to steal it and take credit for it. I wanted to get credit for at least coming up with my own equation. It's a function. Let me show you what the function is, and then I'm going to put up a full video showing you how I arrive at this function. It was actually pretty straightforward. Okay, let's go. Okay, so it seems like people think that there's a lot of mystery when it comes to finding prime numbers. They think the numbers are random, which they are not, and they think that it's very, very complicated somehow finding it. If you think about what prime numbers are, it's actually very, very simple to come up with an equation that will tell you if a number is prime. What is a prime number? A prime number is a number that is divisible by 1 in itself only, an integer number that is only divisible by 1 in itself. Any other number that you divide it by will give you a remainder. Using that, I came up with this equation. I'm going to explain it later, but like I said, I just wanted to get the function up and running as soon as possible, just so at least I could get credit for coming up with the equation. You have an infinite sum of cosines, which is a cosine raised to an infinite power. Now the 2 means an infinite even power, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8, and the number gets larger and larger to infinity. So basically, if you test out this infinite sum of cosine x pi over n raised to an infinite even number, you can plug in any number, and this function will spit out basically an integer. And the integer that it turns out is actually, this is a more general function. The integer that this function throws out is actually the number of factors of a number. Like 3 is you could multiply by 2 and 3. 6 you can multiply by 2. The factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6, right? So this function should actually turn out the number 4, right? Using what this function does, and I'll explain how I arrive at this function later on. I just wanted to get this up and running. A number is divisible only by 1 in itself, meaning that it'll have 2 factors, 1 and itself. So this function, whenever it generates 2, it means that the number is prime. Very simple. Now I'm going to explain later on what the function is. I just wanted to get this up and running. Okay, so remember this function, and I'll explain. It's very straightforward. Will always give you the factors that a number breaks down to, and if this function gives you the number 2, that means that the number is a prime number. The logic is pretty simple, but I tested it out anyway, and it hasn't failed, and I'm pretty much up to a very huge number. But I don't have to do trial and error. I'll explain the logic later on. 2 means that the number is divisible by 1 in itself. 1 in itself, that's 2 different numbers. So whenever this is 2, the number is prime. Okay, I'm going to put this up. Then I'm going to take a little bit of time to put the logic behind and how I arrived at this function, and that's it. Not only that this function will always tell you if a number is prime, but the explanation of how I arrive at this function will show you the prime numbers are not random. They actually have a pretty nice pattern, kind of like a ripple effect of water. You know, if you're in the ocean and you throw a rock and it makes a wave, and then you throw another rock and it makes another wave. Um, there's something about those waves that would that you could look at, where you will see um, if the frequency, the number of the wave is a prime number, and that's what I'm making use of. It's very nice, very straightforward. Anyway, I'm gonna put up this function up. Please look at it, and then I'm gonna put the explanation. The way I came up with it was just kind of, yeah, kind of thinking of ripples in an ocean, and I'll explain later. Thank you, everybody. Again, my name is Sergio Fernandez, and this is my function to determine if a number is prime. Whenever you put a number, if the series gives you 2, the number is always prime. Any other number, it's actually telling you how many factors that given number breaks down to. So, actually, the one thing I noticed is cosine is a real function, pi is a real number. But once you do this, the number that it'll give you will always be an integer. So out of a real function, you get integer numbers all the time, which is also a pretty cool thing to notice about this. Well, it's not new, but I still think it's cool. Okay, thank you, and I'll put up the full explanation later. Bye.